Hello everyone! If this is your first time seeing my face, my name is Emma. I like Disney, musicals and all things cozy. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. Today we are going to be reviewing the new movie called Theatre Camp, which recently came out in UK cinemas. I believe it's been out in America for a while now. If you like theatre, this is the right place for you. Grab a snack, grab a cup of tea, get warm and cozy. We're almost in autumn season and I'm so excited for that. Leave me a comment below if you've seen Theatre Camp. So Theatre Camp is a fun mockumentary about this woman called Joan. So she goes around the country to recruit different kids for her theatre camp and beyond acts. In one of the performances where she is recruiting kids, they have put up a production of Bye Bye Birdie, and she ends up having a stroke. Her less competent son, shall we say, Troy, has to take over the camp for the summer, which leads to a whole lot of drama, especially as he finds out that the theatre is in financial trouble and it's up to Troy to save the camp. So Troy is a very funny character. He is this kind of wannabe influencer who claims he's an expert on all things business. Played by Jimmy Tatro, which is actually a real life influencer, so they've really had tongue-in-cheek with this, and it's really funny that they've casted him to be an influencer when he is one in real life. He's very cocky and obnoxious. He has no idea what musical theatre is, which just makes it quite funny as well. The only thing I would say, I think they gave him far too much screen time for my liking, in terms of like, there's nothing wrong with this character, but I kind of wanted to see more of other characters, which I'll speak on a little bit later. First up in this cast, we have Tony winner Ben Platt, which I'm sure you've heard about if you've seen Dear Evan Hansen, or if you've seen the new version of Parade. He's fabulous in that. I absolutely love that soundtrack. So he is playing the character Amos. So Amos is a narcissistic character who kind of is only looking out for himself, really. It's very clear that he's sort of a failed performer, now turned teacher. So Amos is running this theatre camp together with his best friend Rebecca Diana. They both attended this camp as kids, and then they ended up taking over as musical director and music theory. So every year they put up a new play with a really silly name, and because of Joan's hospital situation, they have decided to put up a play called Joan Still, which is a nod to Still Alice, the movie where Julianne Moore has dementia. It's kind of a little bit insensitive, but it's funny. I think it's funny. Rebecca Diana is one of the funniest characters in this movie. One of the funniest scenes Rebecca Diana had was one of the kids is acting one of the very adult scenes, might I add, that Amos has written for them. It's very much like he's projecting onto the kids the miseries of his life. Anyway, this girl starts crying on stage and Rebecca Diana immediately spots it and rolls onto the stage. She rolls onto the stage and she's like, is this a tear stick, you know, to make yourself cry? And it was just so funny. She compares using tear sticks to using illegal substances. So Molly Gordon actually directed this movie together with Nick Lieberman, and I believe Ben Platt and Noah also were part of the writing process. Molly Gordon and Ben Platt are doing a really good job of complementing each other, and I don't feel like one shines above the other. They're just kind of, they're really funny, both of them, for sure. So the teaching staff, one of the most important characters of the story, is Glenn, the stage manager, and he is played by Noah Galvin, which is also Ben Platt's fiance, if you didn't know. They both played Evan Hansen in Dear Evan Hansen at one point, so they have that in common as well. So Glenn starts out as a character who's very overlooked by the rest of the crew and the kids. He is in control of the backstage area. He teaches the kids how to use the different spotlights for the stage, and he's very overlooked. Like, one of the kids even make a point of saying, oh, this is not hard at all, can we please get something harder, please, please. What they don't realise is that Glenn is super duper talented. I think this is meant to shine a light on everyone backstage because, and also how much of a diva performers can be. I can relate. I am a performer myself, so I will take the criticism. We need to really appreciate stage managers and the people who make us look good. It's very important. At the end of the movie, he ends up saving basically the whole camp. I won't spoil when or how. You have to go and see the movie to find out. But he is super duper talented and he's doing a really good job in this role, I think. So yeah. A standout performance for me is actually one of the kids, Alan Kim. So he played this little kid supposed to be an agent, like recruiting different people, and you could always see him on the phone talking to a potential client. And he nailed this, honestly. He acted like an adult and it was really believable. And it was so funny. In one scene, he was sat in the office on the phone, like he always is, and one of the camp assistants come up to him and like say, come on now, go out and play, you're a kid, like basically. And he's like, no, just a minute, I'm on the phone. There's also tons and tons of musical theatre references in this movie, as you can imagine. There's a lot of playbill posters in the background. There was also slight little nods, like the kids had Meryl Day where everyone dressed up as Meryl Streep. There was tons of Andrew Lloyd Webber references. There was at least 2 mentions of cats. There was 2 different playbills of Waitress, one in Troy's office and then one in one of the kids' campsite bedroom. Massive reference I noticed as well to Rent. If you've ever seen the movie version of Rent, Seasons of Love, stand on stage, this projector in the background showing different clips. The finale number of this movie as well was like that, and it was definitely a nod to Rent, the musical, which I thought was really cute, and showing, what better way of showing unity than to have a bunch of kids show that message. I thought that was beautiful. There's a dance teacher called Clive, which has some fabulous one-liners. There's this costume designer called Gigi. I didn't feel like they did much with them either. Like Gigi, I didn't understand the purpose of that character too much. Some funny scenes where she shows the kids some art, and I think they could have made more of that somehow, just showcasing the different aspects of costumes, even props. Like there was nothing about props. And then I suppose the dance teacher had more time, but I kind of felt the same thing a little bit. Yeah, I just feel like not all of the characterizations were as broad as they could have done it. And I know it's a comedy, so in a comedy you tend to kind of lose a little bit of depth, I suppose, but I think the movie needed just a sprinkle more of it, because they gave so much stage time to Troy saving the camp, and I understand that that was an important plot device for the movie, but I also just feel like they spent too much time on it where it could have been spent on the kids. Yeah, that's just how I feel. So Gigi was played by Owen Teal, apologise for butchering your name, and Nathan Lee Graham played Clive. The characters weren't really fleshed out enough for me. I feel like they could have done so much more to focus more in on the kids' friendship. I think that would have been a really good thing to do. An hour and a half isn't enough time to really do that. But I also think they could have played with it even and cut certain bits down. It felt like it needed a little bit of tweaking in places. I think it was a bit of a slow starter, personally. So maybe the first 30 minutes of the movie, maybe not even that long. Maybe the first 20-30 minutes, it took me a while to get into it. But overall, this is a very cute, wholesome movie, and if you are an aspiring theatre kid or you want to look back with nostalgic eyes, I think you will enjoy this movie. It's very nice and cute, and I feel like it's a love letter to drama teachers, with also making slightly fun of them in the positive way. It's appropriate for anyone who's ever been to an acting class or done a summer camp or done any musical theatre at all. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up because that really helps me out. And I'll see you in my next video. Stay magical, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.